So we're set to go, a divisional game, and Steve Smith, who caught the first pass from Jake last week, Charles, and kind of disappeared.
Yeah, they really took him out of the ball game, and Jake tried to force a few throws to him. Didn't work out very well.
And there is D'Angelo Williams. Both teams have two outstanding running backs, and we'll see the Panthers first as Michael Kanan gets set to kick off. And there is Mike Goodson, the rookie from Texas A&M, fourth-round pick, and he had a couple of good returns last week. And the game is underway here in Atlanta, and it's kicked into the end zone and will be taken out on the 20 by Carolina. So here is Jake Delhomme, who has almost promised a different performance today, and has a perfect record following a loss. And the starting offensive unit, highly regarded offensive line, but they're also looking to get back into form today, Charles.
And that means getting the ball to Steve Smith. Somehow they have to find a way, no matter what the coverage, let him touch the ball.
There you see Muhsin Muhammad and Steve Smith, and starting from the 20 to begin the game. Pitch to D'Angelo Williams, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Falcons, much quicker defensive team, and Williams from Jacksonville, two former Jaguars, playing a big role. And this is a young defensive team, but really it all starts up front with the veteran defensive end and the relentless John Abraham. And
he's getting a lot of help from a young swarming defense that put an emphasis on creating turnovers in the offseason. They forced 4 against the Dolphins.
Two tight ends for the Panthers. Dante Rosario joins Jeff King, and Rosario started to go in motion, and Delhomme going to Steve Smith downfield, and the pass is caught. And Steve Smith, reasons to celebrate, down to the 45-yard line of the Falcons. 27-yard gain with Brian Williams on the coverage.
How about that concentration by Steve Smith and getting both feet down so that it is a legal catch? Beautiful throw by Jake Delhomme, too. That will do wonders for both of them in terms of confidence. Getting things picked up right out of the gate, Steve Smith and Jake Delhomme.
The ball will be on the 47-yard line of Carolina. 21 yards last week, and he already surpassed that on his first reception. Delhomme looking to throw again, and he completes it to Muhsin Muhammad. And he is brought down at the 34-yard line by Stephen Nicholas, the linebacker, after picking up 19. Good start, as look at the official gets knocked to the ground. The umpire getting thrown down, but he appears to be all right. That's Garth DeFelice.
Garth's a tough guy. If you're an umpire, you have to be a tough guy to play in the middle. But this is not a start that you would expect if a team lacks confidence in their quarterback. How about the throw right out of the gate for Jake Delhomme? And then Muhsin Muhammad, he wants to make sure he gets the pad set early. You know, that first hit on him wasn't enough. He got a second one in on the umpire.
First down at the 34, and both tight ends, King and Rosario, are split out, and the running play to Williams breaks a tackle and goes down at the 31-yard line after picking up about 3 or 4. Curtis Lofton on the play. And the one thing that the passing early does, if it's successful, it sets up the run.
They almost are calling a game in reverse. Jeff Davidson, the offensive coordinator, a couple of passes right out of the gate to loosen things up against the defense, because you would have to expect you want to protect Jake Delhomme a little bit to start this game off. Instead, they throw the ball. He's successful. Now they go back to the run, which is their bread and butter. And
their other running back, Jonathan Stewart, comes in for Williams, who picked up 3, bringing up 2nd and 7. And there's Delhomme on the swing pass to Stewart. And Stewart is ridden out of bounds at the 22 by Nicholas. One of the new faces, 5 new starters on defense for the Falcons, and a gain of 5.
Brian Van Gorder, the defensive coordinator, calling in the calls.
And he calls in Croy Bierman, who does not start, but had impact last week against the Dolphins. 3rd and 2. Pass is caught by Steve Smith, And his forward progress appears to be enough for the first down with Eric Coleman, the strong safety, on the coverage. So they go short, and it'll be a first down for Carolina.
When you're struggling, you call plays for your best playmakers. Bunch formation to the right, you scatter the receivers. Steve Smith runs something underneath. Boom, first down, Carolina.
Well, so what we saw last week against the Eagles, an eight-minute drive, 70 yards. Panthers scored a touchdown, and that's the last we heard from their offense. Now Steve Smith lines up to the left. Jonathan Stewart. And he gets about a yard. Curtis Lofton, the middle linebacker, in his second season. And one of those players you were talking about who swarm to the ball.
And right now, when you look at the Carolina Panthers offensive line, Dick, you have to think to yourself, this is one ticked-off group of individuals. Gave up, a bunch of sacks last week. Couldn't find the right guys to block, confused in their scheme. They just want to fire off the football and hit people. And that's Ryan Khalil, the center, now getting ready to do just that.
Even the center, Ryan Khalil, had a false start last week, and D'Angelo Williams back into the game. And so a couple of running plays gets the Panthers to about the 20-yard line. Nicholas making the play, and the 9th play of the drive will be coming up, and nearly 5 minutes of ball control here for the Panthers.
Another third down. This one not as manageable as the last one, which was 3rd and 3. Now 3rd and 7. Here's a chance for the Falcons pass rushers.
And Croy Bierman comes in again. And a timeout called. First timeout of the game. Here's Jake Delhomme, who so far, Charles, perfect 4 for 4 for 54 yards.
And just took a timeout on a 3rd and 7. Some residue from last week, wanting to make sure he gets it right in this crucial situation.
Fake to D'Angelo Williams. And then he's going to go to Williams, who will be stopped. And the loose ball on the field, it's ruled an incomplete pass. An incomplete pass as Williams actually was down at the 21-yard line. The pass was caught. And
complete.
Pass ruled incomplete because of the hit by Mike Peterson. D'Angelo Williams unable to bring the football in to complete the pass, but Mike Peterson forced a fumble last week. It became a big play for Atlanta, and Mike Smith, head coach of the Falcons, wondering if he wants to throw the challenge flag.
John Casey is on the field. A 38-yard field goal attempt by Casey, and the kick is good. One of those notes to file away when the Falcons score first. Since Mike Smith has been the coach, they've won 12 out of 13, but 0-5 when the opposition scores first. And so John Casey with the 38-yard field goal, putting Carolina in front. That's Jarius Norwood, and what a weapon he is, as Reese Lloyd, the kickoff specialist, sends it to the 1-yard line, and that's where Norwood comes out. Had an opening, spins away, and a great return by Jarius Norwood out to the 39-yard line, with Dan Connor of the Panthers finally made the stop. So the Falcons going on offense for the first time. And Matt Ryan, and the biggest thing you can say for him, other than his 8-1 career record at home last week, no turnovers. Julius Peppers, the chief pass rusher for the Panthers, starting from the 39-yard line. And the short drop and the completion to Roddy White. And Roddy White picking up about 8 yards. As we look at the Falcons offensive unit, well, we saw Tony Gonzalez at his best last week, Charles, and we wonder which of the other weapons might emerge today.
Well, we just saw one of them, Roddy White, catching a pass. Tony Gonzalez coming to town has taken some pressure off of Roddy White, who was a Pro Bowler last year.
2nd down and 2 from the 47. Here's Michael Turner, and he's not going to get the first down, thanks to Niall Diggs, the outside linebacker for Carolina. And let's take a look at the Panthers defense, and for the second straight week, they are facing a strong offensive team.
And the defensive line will bear the brunt of that. And Lewis Leonard now starting today for Nick Hayden. They need to step up and be stout against the run.
And Quentin Teal again for Chris Harris at strong safety. Teal starting for the second straight week. 3rd down and 1 coming up, and we're going to have a measurement to see exactly how much the Falcons need for the first down. They don't need anything. Don Carey, who's the brother of Mike Carey, long-time outstanding referee. And it is a first down for the Falcons. John Beeson, the middle linebacker and perhaps the key to John Fox's defensive unit. So it'll be a first down for the Falcons on their 49. Jarius Norwood is in at running back and gets the call, and Norwood to the 45-yard line, picking up 6 on the play. And Harvey Dahl, the right guard, called for a personal foul, which will bring the ball back.
Harvey Dahl has been a real self-made player, hasn't he, Dick? This guy has been in and out of different camps, turned into a starter, and is known as the meanest guy on the offensive line. Watch number 73 to the left of your, right there in the middle of your screen. The tussle. It's not just a knee, it's a foot.
And on Richard Marshall. So now after the penalty, first down and 19. And the slant to Tony Gonzalez. And Gonzalez quickly becoming a great favorite here. And there is Marshall shaken up on the field. And Gonzalez gets it into Falcon territory, picking up a few.
Back-to-back tough plays for Richard Marshall. Gets stepped on, then he tries to make the tackle. Instead, he gets taken out by his own teammates. Thomas Davis, number 58, and John Beeson, number 52, as he tries to assist with the tackle on Tony Gonzalez. They caught him really well.
And 4 Panthers came up and made the tackle on Gonzalez, but Marshall remains in the game. So the 12-yard pass to Gonzalez, and it'll be 3rd down and 7. Pressure on Ryan, and up the middle he finds Roddy White for the first down inside the 40.
There's Ron Meeks, the defensive coordinator for the Carolina Panthers, trying to figure out how to match up with Tony Gonzalez, who's acting really as a 3rd wide receiver, not just a tight end. He's been split out on a lot of formations. Roddy White ran the inside route on the last play. And
the first-year defensive coordinator, and the Falcons were telling us that not only did they look at the tape of last year's games against Carolina, but also a preseason game against Indianapolis to see Meeks' style of defense. And now John Fox calling the officials over.
Carolina is challenging the ruling of a completed pass. We'll review the play.
So an early challenge in this game, and the pass which was caught by Gonzalez for 12 yards, and they'll take a look. So the challenge by John Fox, and the Gonzalez catch was previous to the Roddy White reception, and that was a 3rd down and 7. And so if John Fox wins the challenge, it'll be a punting situation, or at least a long field goal attempt for Atlanta. Otherwise, it's first down.
This brings into play, I think.
The pass is now ruled incomplete. The player lost possession as he was going to the ground, therefore making the pass incomplete. It will be 4th and 7. Please put 7:40 on the game clock. 7:40 on the game clock, please.
This brings into play what was discussed in the pregame show, Dick. Catch or no catch. Oakland, San Diego on Monday night. You have to possess the ball all the way to the ground through completion of the play. Otherwise, the pass is incomplete.
So it's 4th down, and Michael Kanan will punt, and there is Captain Munnerlyn. Munnerlyn, a 7th round draft pick. Kanan, an outstanding kicker, one of the assets for the Falcons. Munnerlyn standing on his 10. Fair catch called by the rookie from South Carolina at around the 10-yard line. And we're back here in Atlanta, and a flag was thrown. And flag came out late after we had taken our break. Don Carey.
Personal foul, Carolina, number 50. 15-yard penalty, unnecessary roughness, late hit. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
James Anderson. So we've had a couple of personal fouls already, one on each team, and they'll place the ball just outside the 5, Charles.
Not unusual when you get division foes going at each other. Not to mention they both pride themselves on being physical football teams, and Carolina had a bad week last week. You know they want to unleash some of their frustrations.
You add it up. They know us, we know them. Thomas Johnson is in the game at defensive tackle. Jonathan Stewart, the running back, and a first down from the 5, and Stewart carries it out, and not much there, and Chauncey Davis limits Stewart to a gain of 1. Falcons defense impressive last week in the 19-7 win over the Miami Dolphins, and forcing 4 turnovers.
You mentioned it earlier, Dick. They're built for speed, but today they'll have to show also that they're built to be tough, because you know they'll be checked by Carolina's offensive line trying to run the ball.
Second down and 9. Fake pitch, and Delhomme from his end zone going out and overthrowing the intended receiver, Steve Smith. So that will bring up third down and 9. And this could be an important stop perhaps for the Falcons, who could get the ball in good field position.
And that was nice range shown by the first-year starter, Thomas Deku, number 28, coming from the deep half position to make a play on the football.
Third and 9, and you know the crowd will be a factor here when the Panthers come to the line. Again from his end zone, good protection, and the pass overthrown again for Steve Smith. So Jake Delhomme twice throwing from his own end zone, incomplete passes, fourth down.
John Abraham, their best pass rusher, working against Jordan Gross, the all-pro left tackle. Nice job by Gross. And look at who's making a play on the football on back-to-back plays. Number 28, Thomas Deku.
Just pointed him out. So Jason Baker will kick from the back of his end zone, and Eric Weems, and a beautiful kick, will bounce and will finally go out of bounds in Atlanta territory. First down, Falcons from their 43, and here's Michael Turner. And Turner fighting his way to midfield. He scored 4 touchdowns, tying a career high against the Panthers in their 45-28 win here last November, and he gets 7 on that carry.
And his nickname is such a misnomer in a lot of ways. The burner. He can run in the open field, don't get me wrong, but he's not a track guy. He's much more physical as a runner. He just likes to feed him his pads as he goes through the line.
You can see Delhomme and Muhammad over on the sideline cooking up something for their next possession. Again, it's Turner, and Turner, following a blocking lead, gets the first down and drives his way to the 41-yard line of Carolina before the tackle is made, and a good block by the right guard, Harvey Dahl.
Yeah, we saw Harvey Dahl with a penalty, but look how he pulls around number 73, and Turner just gets right behind him, and they just keep moving the pile forward. Big, nasty, physical offensive line led by Harvey Dahl, number 73, and Tyson Claiborne, number 77. They're the ones who move the pile.
Mike Mularkey, the offensive coordinator, and loves the various weapons his team has, including Matt Ryan, and this pass is caught on the comeback pattern, and a flag is down. The pass reception at the 30 would be a first down to Roddy White with Gamble on the coverage, pending the call.
An eligible receiver downfield. Offense, number 63. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So the left guard, Justin Blaylock, had gotten too far downfield, so that will nullify what would have been an Atlanta first down. So therefore, the Falcons picking up the 3 penalties thus far. First down and 15 on the 46 of the Panthers. And the quick toss to Roddy White, and right there is Chris Gamble on the coverage, but the pass not caught by White, incomplete. So with 4:41 remaining in the first quarter, it'll be 2nd and 15.
You won't see Matt Ryan be inaccurate like that on that type of a throw very often. Ron Meeks, the coordinator of the Panthers, trying to dial up a call here on 2nd and long. Do they bring some pressure at Matt Ryan now?
Well, Ryan, as we said, no mistakes last week. And the team didn't fumble. He did not throw an interception. And straight ahead running by Jason Snelling. And Snelling, a valuable back. All right, thank you, Kurt. Houston trying to come back from their loss to the Jets last week. 3rd down and 10. And Tony Gonzalez had moved. And let's see whether he was drawn off.
Start. Offense, number 88. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
To the right of your screen, second guy in from the bottom, number 88, Tony Gonzalez.
So Gonzalez coming off the field and replaced by Marty Booker, the 11-year veteran, wearing number 80. Remember him with the Chicago Bears. 3rd down and 15. A lot of time drilling the pass, and it's intercepted by Richard Marshall. And the Panthers getting a turnover, and the first mistake by Matt Ryan of the season. And the Panthers get it back on their own 45.
Ron Meeks, a new defensive coordinator for Carolina, bringing a lot of those Tampa 2 cover 2 principles with him. Watch number 31, Richard Marshall, the cornerback. He's just in short zone coverage. He knows he's got deeper help from the linebacker, John Beeson. He just reads the eyes of Matt Ryan and moves to the football and is there for the interception.
Marty Booker, who just came in the game, was the intended receiver, and there you see a couple of linemen pushing and shoving. Thomas Johnson and Kedrick Vincent. So far, just 1 penalty against Carolina.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 93. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So it's against Johnson of the Falcons, and I think you're absolutely right. I think that Don Carey's going to have a busy day with these rivals.
I think he is. And look at Ron Meeks, the defensive coordinator, congratulating Richard Marshall after the interception. Remember, the Panthers gave up a lot of points last week, but 24 of them came after turnovers.
Can't turn the ball over 7 times and expect to win. First down and 5. DeAngelo Williams straight ahead, and the first down, protecting the football, as you see, as he gets to the 37-yard line, picking up 12 yards. Eric Coleman finally stops him.
How about this offensive line? We said that they would come out determined today after a tough week last week, just zone blocking to the left. And look at that hole that just opened right there, and DeAngelo Williams able to sprint right through it.
First down as we get close to 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Panthers leading 3-0. And the flea flicker attempt, and Delhomme just tries to get rid of it and almost threw it into the hands of Curtis Lofton. Instead of going down, he just threw it away, and Nicholas with pressure.
Yeah.
Like the clock, because you went incomplete. You wanted to.
So that could have been disaster for the Panthers as Delhomme tried to get away from the sack.
This is one of those plays that when it starts off poorly, sometimes you just have to take your medicine and eat the football. And right there, that's what Jake Delhomme should have done. Obviously ill-advised. This is not one that is going to come close to turning out well.
Down by contact.
And fortunately for him, it is a sack, and it's Stephen Nicholas, and the loss on the play of 12 yards, and it'll be 2nd and long now with the ball just barely into Falcon territory.
The end result worked out for the Panthers, but you still don't throw the football in that situation. Just eat it and come back the next play.
Steve Smith to the bottom of your picture, defended by Chris Houston. Hand off to D'Angelo Williams, and Williams gets inside the 45 to the 43, picking up 6 with Lofton and Abraham combining. In the last 2 games, and that's the playoff game against Arizona at home, and last week against the Eagles at home, 9 interceptions, 2 fumbles lost for Jake Delhomme. And he admitted that after he threw his first pick last week, it hung on his mind a bit.
For the first time, he had some self-doubts.
Third and 16, and here comes the pressure, and the pass intended for Steve Smith off his hands, and that will bring up 4th down. So following the interception by Marshall, the Panthers cannot score. And the sack, a big play in that drive. So on 4th down, Jason Baker will be kicking, and Eric Weems goes back deep. Now Weems has gone off the field. There is no one back there. And there's the kick, and it's blocked, and it's picked up at the 45-yard line, and it's Peterson. Mike Peterson, who had an interception and a great hit last week, and injured on the field, is one of the Carolina Panthers. Weems came off the field, and they had 11 men charging to break and block the kick. Brian Williams got a piece of it.
Right from the outer edge, from the right side of your picture, number 29, Brian Williams, and number 53, Mike Peterson. You mentioned at the beginning of the telecast, 2 guys coming from Jacksonville where they played for Mike Smith. They collaborated on this play. Mike Peterson has been around the football in both games excessively. Exactly what you want from an outside linebacker making plays. And what they're trying to do is the Australian rules kick, and he takes a lot of steps before he gets there. And that allows Brian Williams an opportunity to get there and take it literally off of his foot. And it goes right to Mike Peterson.
So the 2 Williamses, no relation, who played at Jacksonville, and there is an injured Panther on the field. And it's Niall Diggs, the linebacker. So alert special teams play by the Atlanta Falcons. And Weems came running off the field. Let's watch Diggs, number 53.
So after he's trying to help with the tackle, he's trying to strip Mike Peterson there, and another teammate. This is the 2nd time today. That looks like Landon Johnson, number 59, trying to make the tackle. He actually hit Niall Diggs. 2nd time today a Panther has been hit by his own teammates and hurt. But how many steps? 1, 2, and a long time. Normally, you catch the ball and you really one-step that. Drop it and kick it, Dick, and try and knock it deep. Instead, he takes too many steps. It gets blocked.
They had a man that the Panthers couldn't block. Roddy White goes in motion, 1st down, play action for Matt Ryan. Plenty of time, and he completes the pass to Michael Jenkins. And the first catch of the day for Jenkins gets inside the 30-yard line, and a pickup of 24.
Look at where they hide Tony Gonzalez and try and bring him back now to block. And that really helps give Matt Ryan the time he needs to deliver the ball downfield. Roddy White runs a clear-out route, And underneath, Michael Jenkins with the big catch.
So a first down on the 29. James Anderson has replaced Niall Diggs at outside linebacker. Michael Turner. And a flag is down. And an offsides penalty is the initial call.
Offside. Defense. Number 93, 5-yard penalty. First down. First and 5.
I know Mike Smith wanted the play instead of the penalty. But they're saying that the offsides occurred before the ball was snapped, so he has to take the 5-yard penalty. So we saw them step across the line.
They announced the number 93. There is no 93 on the Panthers. So it'll be first and 5 with under a minute remaining in the first quarter. Here's Ryan's pass, and it's caught by Gonzalez for the touchdown. Tony Gonzalez, who set up a touchdown with a great catch last week and scored one after a catch in a superb run. 78th touchdown reception of his sensational career. And Jason Elam, who missed an extra point last week, makes good here. And the Falcons lead the Panthers 7-3. And it all was set up by the block of the punt.
And watch Tony Gonzalez as he came across formation in motion. Just runs into the middle and clears the linebackers. All right, the middle of the field wide open, no deep help until it's too late. And Matt Ryan sees that. Charles Godfrey, number 30, is too deep. So he's able to fit it over the linebackers and in front of the safety. A terrific throw. And you make that throw for 2 reasons, Dick. 1, you're confident as a quarterback throwing it. 2, you know you're throwing it to Tony Gonzalez, number 88.
And this is how it all started. This is after the Panthers couldn't do anything following a turnover. And Baker's punt was blocked by Williams. And that led to Tony Gonzalez with the touchdown. And I think he always wanted to play in the NBA, didn't you?
Yeah, you know, he probably had the skills to do it. He did it awfully well in the NCAA tournament for Cal. Led them on a great run with Jason Kidd. But how about the young quarterback with the reading of the coverage? Sees the linebackers, knows the deep help is too deep, able to clear them and stick it in front of the safety.
That's what he does best, as Mike Goodson goes back deep, and Michael Kanan will kick off for Atlanta, and he drills this one into the end zone. Goodson will down it there, and the Panthers will take it out at the 20. And we were talking to Tony Gonzalez on the respect he has for Matt Ryan, and he says he'll work way after practice in the weight room. He says he shows that he wants to be good. And, you know, Tony Gonzalez has been around some outstanding quarterbacks in his career.
And he compares him to Peyton Manning and says he's not there yet. He's not Peyton Manning, but he's Peyton Manning-esque in how he prepares. And how does Tony know this? All the Pro Bowls he went to where he played with Peyton Manning and spent time with him.
So the Panthers getting a field goal on their first possession, and then a punt, and then a block punt. So similar so far to last week when they scored on their first possession, and that was it. We'll see how they respond. D'Angelo Williams with a great burst, still on his feet, picks up the first down as he gets past the 35-yard line. Stopped at the 36 after a 16-yard pickup. Nicholas, the linebacker, downfield.
This offensive line really has come to play today. They said that they were embarrassed last week with how they played. Look at how everyone is matched up, including the fullback, number 45, Brad Hoover. Man on man, created a crease for D'Angelo Williams, and he uses the vision to get through it.
So we start the second quarter. Dick Stockton and Charles Davis, first down at the 36. And D'Angelo Williams gets out to the 39-yard line. Chauncey Davis brings him down. And Williams has 7 carries for 42 yards, and that's a healthy 6 yards a clip to this point.
He didn't break into the 40-yard range last week, so already well ahead of pace.
Panthers unable to run the ball much when you fall behind 21-10 at the half, or 31-10 for that matter. And the Panthers with a balanced offense thus far. 2nd down and 6. Delhomme gets protection, and he completes the pass to Steve Smith in stride and brought down by Thomas Deku, but Panthers in Atlanta territory again at the 32 after a gain of 28 yards.
Jake Delhomme had a couple of shaky plays before we changed quarters, but look at him shake it off and find Steve Smith as he breaks to the inside. Great job with the hands catch. And when you're a running back, you can't just run it. You have to be able to pass, protect, and help out your quarterback. DeAngelo Williams doing it very well.
Falcons have receivers who block well, and the Panthers running backs who can protect. 1st down, and here is Jonathan Stewart trying to turn the corner, but Curtis Lofton is all over him, and he'll get maybe a yard.
When you're built for speed, watch the middle. Watch number 50, Curtis Lofton. Reads it, gets through the hole, and meets Jonathan Stewart. That's known as playing downhill as a middle linebacker.
Hometown of Kingfisher, Oklahoma. And as he told us the other day, there are more cows than people in that town.
So how many people?
2nd down and 9. Nearly 2 minutes gone by in the second, and Stewart again. Gets the 1st down inside the 20 and inside the 5-yard line. He'll get to about the 3. Eric Coleman finally gets to him, but another 28-yard gain and a great block by Muhsin Muhammad on that run.
Look at what you're getting here from this offensive line. Watch these guys. Their job is to get the running back to and through the line of scrimmage. And then after that, the running back takes part of it. Look right there, Muhsin Muhammad, number 87. The good running backs also have wide receivers who will block. The extra block downfield is the difference between a 5-yard gain and a 25-yard gain.
Panthers have rushed for 74 yards thus far, and it'll be 1st and goal from the 3. And here is Williams trying to go outside, and he'll get in for the touchdown. He fought off Chris Houston, the cornerback, and DeAngelo Williams scoring his 2nd touchdown of the season. He had 20 last year, 18 on the ground, 2 as a receiver, but his 20 led the league. And now John Casey looking to give the Panthers a 3-point lead early in the 2nd quarter, and he does. And welcome back to the Georgia Dome and a 6-play, 80-yard scoring drive. And they did it on the ground, and you talk about getting back to basics for the Panthers, Charles, capped by Williams' 3-yard run.
The offensive line has really dug in and given great effort in the run game, but when they've wanted to throw the ball, Jake Delhomme's done that well too.
Reese Lloyd with a kick deep into the end zone, and the Falcons will take it out at the 20. One of the 2 outstanding running backs, Jarius Norwood of the Falcons, suffering a head injury, and his return is questionable. The Panthers losing Niall Diggs with a rib injury, not sure whether he'll be back, so Michael Turner handling the running chores. 1st and 10 for the Falcons on the 20. Turner the call on 1st down, and he gets a couple of yards. John Beeson and Sonny Harris on the play, and
no one, I mean, total a true matchup nightmare.
That's why they think Houston may be improved as Turner getting the call again, trying to get to 1st down yardage. Is short by about 2.5. Thomas Davis, who made 18 tackles, a career high for him at linebacker for the Panthers in the losing cause, with help from Tyler Brayton.
He's really settled in at the weak side linebacker. Talk about Thomas Davis, number 58, came into the league. They weren't sure whether to play him a strong safety or a linebacker. They did both. Then they made him a strong side linebacker, but his home, weak side.
Jason Snelling, who's an outstanding pass protector among other things, has come in the game on 3rd and 2. Ryan trying to go outside, and it is a catch and a 1st down to Tony Gonzalez, who caught the touchdown pass a few moments ago. So Matt Ryan, who has tremendous poise, well beyond what most of the experts thought for a rookie quarterback last year. Now a lot more assured, as he says, and confident in his second year.
His confidence comes from his preparation, which is as good as anyone's in the league.
First down from the 31. Michael Turner. And the first man to hit him was James Anderson, who replaced Niall Diggs at linebacker. A 4-yard gain for Turner.
Just love the way Michael Turner runs the football. This play starts laterally, which is what a defense wants from a running back. But the ability to get his shoulders turned, put a foot in the ground and get north and south and finish a run, it's one of the reasons Michael Turner is one of the best in the league.
Julius Peppers sitting this drive out to this point. 2nd down and 6. Good pickup. That flag is down, and the pass intended for Justin Peele is deflected and will have a penalty, and it appears to be against the Falcons.
Illegal shift. Offense, 2 men moving at the same time. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
So Mike Smith, who has the outstanding offense and the young defensive team, Michael Turner going to the sidelines. It'll be 2nd down and 11. Jason Snelling in there with Norwood out with the head injury. Peppers out of there. Everett Brown, the rookie from FSU, Florida State, is into the game. And there is pressure on Ryan, but the pass completed to Roddy White, who was wrestled down at the 36-yard line by Chris Gamble.
When you're replacing Julius Peppers, one thing you have to do is bring pressure, and that's why Everett Brown was drafted. Remember, the Panthers gave up a #1 pick in the future to trade and get him in the 2nd round. That's how highly they thought of him. He was stoned on that play, but look for him to bring the pressure off the edge. That's his forte.
And they gave up their #1 pick to the 49ers next year for him. Julius Peppers is back in there at defensive line on 3rd down and 4. And Ryan's pass, he has time, and wide open is Marty Booker. And Booker beats the defense and gets a first down to the 37-yard line, a 27-yard pickup for the Falcons.
What a great pickup. Mike Mularkey loves this guy because of everything he can do. Watch him just run from the slot position and just kind of run a seam route, and Matt Ryan, with great timing, puts the ball right where Marty Booker's going to end up before the big hit coming from the secondary from Captain Munnerlyn.
So a first down for Atlanta, once again in Carolina territory. And the handoff is to Turner, and a good tackle by John Beeson as he grabbed hold of Turner. I guess that's what you have to do with him, and just keep holding.
That was a big lick from John Beeson, and it knocked him sideways, but not totally off of his feet. And Matt Ryan off to a very nice start. Saved the 1 interception, but he is really in rhythm right now throwing the football.
Panthers took the 3-0 lead on the Casey field goal. And Matt Ryan to Tony Gonzalez. And you don't think Mike Mularkey is happy to have maybe the best tight end he's ever had since he's been in football.
And as a former tight end, he loves calling plays for tight ends.
2nd down and 7. On the delay, and Turner goes down. And a big tackle there by Damian Lewis, and the Falcons lose 4 on that play.
That's a beautiful play right here. Damian Lewis, number 92, gets off the ball really well and just gets right past number 73, Harvey Dahl, and right between him and number 77, Tyson Claybo, and meets the running back almost at the time he takes the handoff.
7.5 remaining in the first half. 3rd down and 11. Pass is caught by Booker, and he'll get the first down to the 21-yard line. Munnerlyn and Teal combine to make the stop, and the former Chicago Bear picks up 15 yards. And a big factor in this first half offense for Mike Smith.
Watch how the Atlanta Falcons pass protect. Sam Baker, number 72, last year's first-round pick. And right next to him, number 63, Justin Blaylock, knocking Richard Marshall off of his blitz. That allowed Matt Ryan to step up and complete the pass for the first down.
Second catch for Booker for 41 yards and a first down. Pressure coming in, picked up nicely. And this pass thrown out of bounds, intended for Roddy White. Well, a lot of pressure on that team starting as a rookie.
Yeah, without a doubt, everyone's saying, hey, 0-16 last year, when are we going to get a win? Matthew Stafford not worrying about that, just getting better each week.
11th play of the drive, and Gonzalez is in the slot for the top of your picture. Michael Turner gets inside the 20-yard line. Gain of about 3 or 4 for the Falcons, and Davis on the tackle.
The thing about Michael Turner's runs, Dick, is that sometimes they're not those huge runs, you know, 2 or 3 yards. They're like body punches in boxing. The attrition, you know, as he keeps pounding away, and then later on, that 3-yard run turns into a bigger run when he runs through a tackle.
He had to take a back seat to LaDainian Tomlinson in San Diego, similarly to the way Priest Holmes had to do it to Jamal Lewis in Baltimore. Snelling in the game, and this pass is low, but Gonzalez incomplete. Trapped the ball. It is an incomplete pass, and Gonzalez says otherwise to the officials. Thought he had it.
Look at him get down low to catch the football, and he's trying to say he's got a hand underneath the football, and I think he may have a case.
And the challenge flag is out.
Look at how he cupped the hand underneath the ball. Watch again. Watch his left hand underneath. I believe that he caught the football.
I think seeing that hand underneath, Charles, you're absolutely right. From at least our standpoint, we'll see what Don Carey decides.
The key is, does the ball hit the ground at all? And I don't think that it does. I think he gets his hand underneath and keeps it from touching the ground and hauls it in. And
Atlanta is challenging the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass.
Isn't it interesting that a player of that stature, when he complains like that, usually he has an idea what really happened. We'll take a break.
Mike Smith, head coach of the Falcons, Tony Gonzalez, there, his tight end, awaiting the results of the challenge. And Dick, you pointed out that when a player of Tony Gonzalez's stature tells you that he did something, people tend to listen. He's saying he got his hand cupped underneath the ball and hauled it in. I believe he's accurate. And when he turned and said to the bench, I caught it, there was no hesitation from Mike Smith. The challenge flag came out immediately.
They didn't have to look upstairs.
No.
For the offensive coordinator to look at it. And if it is a catch, it will be a first down for the Falcons. So this is an important challenge.
It's about building trust between player and coach. When he says, Coach, I caught it. And the coach saying, I don't need to hear upstairs. I'm with you.
So here's Tony Gonzalez, and wanted to leave Kansas City, put in a lot of years, but the one thing he doesn't have, of course, is a championship ring, and he thought he would have a really good shot to do it here in Atlanta. And it looks like Don Carey is
taking another look.
Not through. Listen.
And you're talking about him thinking here would be a place to get a championship. He actually said that when he thought about coming here, he had a dream, and he saw confetti coming down from the sky. That tells you what he thought about coming here to Atlanta.
After review, the pass is complete. The runner was down by contact. It would be Atlanta's ball. First and goal at the 10-yard line. Atlanta will not be charged with a timeout.
So Tony Gonzalez, who already has a touchdown catch, makes a big one here.
Tony said, I caught it. Even checked out the video board. Told his bench he caught the football. The left hand, and he brings the right hand over the top. Ball never hits the ground.
First and goal from the 10. Michael Turner. And Turner gets hit immediately by James Anderson. And no gain, bringing up second and goal.
James Anderson in the ball game for Nile Diggs, normally the starter at that linebacker position.
has a rib injury. And Turner comes out of the game. And Brian Finneran still looking for his first catch of the year. And Marty Booker and Jason Snelling have come in on
Roddy,
second and goal.
Roddy White in the slot.
And the pass underneath to Snelling. He'll get in for the score.
So many different guys that they can go to. Jarius Norwood, number 32, normally would be in the game in this spot. He's out with an injury. Jason Snelling snaps right in, assumes the position. Touchdown, Falcons.
And Jason Elam with the extra point. And the Falcons lead it 14-10. An 80-yard scoring drive for Atlanta after Carolina scored. And it was Tony Gonzalez now in 2 games has caught 2 touchdown passes and has made 2 receptions to set up scores. And Snelling going over for the TD, and Matt Ryan 6 for 7 on that drive. Michael Kanan will be kicking off to Mike Goodson. And again deep in the end zone. 2 good field goal or kickoff performers out here for these teams, and the Panthers will get it out at the 20-yard line with 5:10 remaining. Stewart will start out as the tailback from the 20. Play action, and Delhomme up the middle, and it's caught by Steve Smith. So Steve Smith, who caught a 27-yarder earlier, gets 18 yards here and a first down to the 37.
For those who were worried about Jake Delhomme's confidence, relax a little bit, because he pulled the trigger on an in-breaking route into coverage and slotted it in. You don't make this throw if you have any doubts about your abilities. Look at that. Beautiful.
First down. Mark it at the 38. Here's Stewart. Gets an opening up the middle and a first down into Falcon territory for Jonathan Stewart, and Thomas Deku, the free safety, bringing him down as we get close to 4 minutes remaining in the half.
Watch the middle. Number 67, Ryan Khalil, and right there, number 70, Travell Wharton, with a great double team. Had the seal on the backside from number 68, Kedrick Vincent. That allowed him to get deep into the secondary.
From midfield, and the short pass to Jeff King, tight end, picking up 6 yards to the 44. Gain of 12 yards, 6 yards on the play, and the only timeout in the game called by Carolina on their first drive. So the Panthers have 2 timeouts remaining, and the Falcons have all 3 of theirs. Defensive coordinator Brian Van Gorder. Second down and 4. The quick to Smith, gets by a defender. Steve Smith pushed out of bounds. It was Brian Williams who was on the coverage, and Smith just flew by him, and a first down to the 32 of the Falcons.
Watch Steve Smith. One of the things that has to happen is there are going to be a lot of one-on-one individual battles all game long. Some of those in the pit, some of them out wide versus defensive backs. In that case, Steve Smith won his one-on-one battle.
You want to be a cameraman down there?
Not anymore.
You mean you did it one time?
I'm taking my resume back after that play.
First and 10. Jonathan Stewart on the carry, and a couple of missed tackles, but finally Jonathan Babineau makes sure and brings down Stewart at the 27, a gain of 4. And D'Angelo Williams comes into the game, replacing Jonathan Stewart. A big 1-2 punch. Stewart has gained 47, Williams 46 so far.
What a luxury to have. 2 backs of that caliber where you can alternate them and get them rest, so that every time they come onto the field, they have fresh legs.
And they averaged nearly 7 yards per carry at that. 2nd down and 6. And the pitch to Williams, just looking for some running room. But the Falcons quick to the ball, and you pointed that out early. Eric Coleman coming up to make the play, and the Panthers will lose 4 as we wind down to the 2-minute warning.
Two keys to this defensive stop. Watch the defensive line here. They hold the point of attack. And also watch number 53, Mike Peterson. Watch how he gives himself up and takes out a couple of blockers. There he takes out Travell Wharton and Brad Hoover, which makes D'Angelo Williams bounce outside, which gives Eric Coleman, number 26, and John Abraham, number 55, a chance to run the play down. That's what speed defenses want, you to run laterally.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. It'll be 3rd down and 10. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the left, and Jake Delhomme has time. Can he find a target? And it's tipped incomplete. He was going for Muhsin Muhammad, and Mike Peterson got his hands on it, bringing up 4th down.
And Moose wanted a penalty. Muhsin Muhammad wanted a penalty. He wanted an interference call, saying the defender got to him too fast. But when that ball's tipped right there, that takes away the pass interference. Now that's out of play.
John Casey, who started the scoring with a 38-yard field goal, will try one from 50. And the 17-year veteran makes good on his 2nd field goal of the game to bring the Panthers to within 1. Falcons leading 14-13, and John Fox with congratulations all around. Game 1, October 16th. The ALCS. They'll have the home field in the World Series because of their all-star win. Eric Weems. Eric Weems with a return, and the Falcons will have terrific field position. With 1:41 remaining in the half, Captain Munnerlyn made the stop, a gain of 41 by Weems.
Now remember, you can't have more than 2 men as a wedge this year, and that's exactly what the Falcons did. But right here, look at that gap that Eric Weems sees and hits. That's the key to being a good returner. When you see the daylight, get to it right now. No dancing, no juking, go. And that's exactly what Eric Weems did.
So a great starting position for the Falcons. 1st down on their 44. Matt Ryan giving to Jason Snelling. Gets free up the middle. Snelling into Panther territory. Brought down at the 36. And a gain of 20 yards. And the Falcons really in business now.
How much depth do they have at the running back position when you go 3 deep and Jason Snelling follows the trap block from number 63, Justin Blaylock, and then cuts off a number 77, Tyson Claybo, for a big gainer.
Down to the 36, 1st down. And Snelling again going outside. And Captain Munnerlyn holding on to make the tackle, but not before. Snelling gets about 8 yards. Clock stops at 1:04. And a timeout called by the Falcons. There first. Coming up, the Visa halftime report. The whole gang in LA. Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy will have all the scores and highlights. Fox Sports ticker, as you know, as well. And the best halftime report. You'll get caught up on everything.
And they spent time in the pregame show discussing catch, no catch. You know, how does that rule work? I actually talked in the pregame with Don Carey, the referee, about that call. And he walked me through the mechanics of it. And we've had it already today. The catch, was it a catch or not a catch with Roddy White?
Right on cue, we had a play similar to that. And, of course, they also discussed, did Carolina get back to running the ball? And so
that's
far
what they've been doing. Exactly.
2nd down and 2. Pass caught by Brian Finneran. And he goes out of bounds to stop the clock with 1 minute to play. He picks up 5. 41-yard kickoff return to Weems, setting the Falcons up here. And 1 minute left and 2 timeouts for the Falcons. Roddy White goes to the top of the screen.
And that's Gonzalez right there, detached.
Ryan drills it. And the pass is caught and a flag goes down. Gonzalez makes the catch. And a defender had his back to Ryan. He was screened And Gonzalez made the catch, but a flag down.
Pass interference. Defense, number 58. That penalty is declined. Automatic. It is a first down.
And Thomas Davis, a former defensive back, has good coverage. He runs into Gonzalez early, and Tony, still focused on the football, makes the catch. Normally, that's enough just to cause an incompletion, and the Falcons would have been fined and picked up the penalty. Wow.
But he wasn't playing the ball, was Davis. Here's the flip into the end zone. Touchdown to Roddy White.
Number 84, Roddy White, at the top of your screen, runs the slant and then uses his body to screen off Chris Gamble, so he has to go through him to try and get the football. Unable to do so. Touchdown, Falcons.
And Jason Elam looking to give the Falcons an 8-point lead with 50 seconds remaining in the half. So that's 3 touchdown passes for Matt Ryan, and you know, we're going to start calling Tony Gonzalez the setup man.
And everyone else gets the payoff, right? But the key to all this drive was what? The kickoff return. Big return by Weems, sets him up, and then Ryan marches him downfield. Gonzalez with the big catch first, and then Roddy White with the slant route, screens off the defender. Ryan throws it low so that only Roddy White has a chance to come up with the football. Touchdown, Falcons, and Matt Ryan has really gotten into a great rhythm with his receivers throwing the football.
First TD catch of the year for Roddy White. And this was the setup man. Who else but number 88?
Look at that. And you know the good thing about a setup man like that is he can also be a finisher, as he was earlier today for a touchdown.
And was last week too against the Dolphins. So everything seems to revolve around Tony Gonzalez, at least in the first 2 games. 5 plays, 56 yards.
Man, Thomas Dimitroff, the general manager, has to be grinning somewhere here in the Georgia Dome about the move he made the night before the draft, getting Tony Gonzalez in a Falcons uniform.
And the kickoff deep into the end zone. Goodson, and the Panthers will take it out on the 20. So with all of what Matt Ryan accomplished last year as the offensive rookie of the year, his 3 TD passes are a career high, and Roddy White gives a fan a souvenir.
Went right over the shoulder of the one fan in front who thought, hey, maybe for me? No.
So what do you do in 50 seconds with 2 timeouts left, starting from the 20?
Well, they're going wide open with 4 wides.
And falling down, good pressure that time on Delhomme, and Smith was the man he wanted to get it to, and John Abraham getting to Jake Delhomme on that play.
A lot of squads in that position would draw, screen, see if they can pop something big early, and if they can, then they would go into a real hurry up. In this case, the Panthers came out 4 wides and tried to get it done that way, and they're lining up the exact same formation.
2nd and 10, and they give it to D'Angelo Williams with the defense spread out, and he'll have the first down as he gets past the 30-yard line. 12-yard pickup, and the clock continues to run, and lining up without a huddle, still with 2 timeouts remaining. Going to the sideline to Kenneth Moore. He makes the catch and stops the clock. Got about 9, it seemed. See where they put the spot. Actually, it's at the 38-yard line, so we'll give him 6 yards, and down to 17 seconds left.
The offensive coordinator of the Panthers, Jeff Davidson, he's going to analyze what the Falcons are going to give him. And then they want to take just a little bit more, trying to get a chunk of yardage in order to at least get in the field goal position.
Second and 4, pressure on Delhomme, and he had no chance of finding his receiver. It was Smith, and the pressure this time came from the secondary. Thomas Deku on a safety blitz.
A first-time starter this year, the second game he started in the NFL. Many thought, hey, this is who you go after, the young kid. Instead, they run him from deep in the secondary. He comes on the blitz untouched and knocks off the timing of Jake Delhomme. Thomas Deku has had a very nice first half.
Brian Van Gorder, and they're blitzing. Aggressive defensive, and that's been their trademark. Third down and 4, 12 seconds to go in the half. And here's D'Angelo Williams. And Williams gets to the 48-yard line, and that should do it. A gain of 14 yards, and 2 seconds. A timeout is called by the Panthers. So they got one play and then a timeout, or if they go out of bounds, to set up the field goal try. Now Reese Lloyd, who is the kickoff specialist, kicks the long field goals. John Casey kicks the normal field goal range.
Yeah, I don't think that we have a shot at this one, though, do we? As being a field goal attempt, this is going to have to be a deep pass to the end zone.
Yeah, it's got to go there and hope for a pass interference call. You know, Casey has kicked a 50-yard field goal and a 38. Tom Dempsey, who kicked the 63-yarder, and Muhsin Muhammad. This is not good news for the Panthers, as Muhammad
is trying to block downfield, Dick.
Shaken up.
Got rolled up actually by D'Angelo Williams finishing a run. See, this is where the Panthers do such a good job of, is getting additional blocking downfield. See Muhammad, number 87. He's trying to help out his teammate. Unfortunately, his teammate rolls up on his ankle. But when you're a heavy run team, your receivers will be downfield assisting with the blocking.
So Muhammad can't go on this last Hail Mary attempt, and Dwayne Jarrett. There's Brian Finneran.
Is normally a wide receiver going back deep to help play center field. Key is to bat the ball down, not up.
Here's Delhomme, and Delhomme is going deep as time runs out in the end zone, and it's batted down by Brian Finneran. And defensively, they've got to do something. Number 88, Tony Gonzalez, making nothing but great plays, catching anything thrown his way. So the second half kickoff, Reese Lloyd deep to Eric Weems. Now, that was a long kick by Lloyd, and Weems, remember the last time, ran it back 41 yards to set up the last touchdown for that man, Matt Ryan, who in the first half established a career high 3 touchdown passes. And let's look at the Falcon possessions. They all ended up with the same result.
Yeah, and how about that? 3 different guys catching them. Jason Snelling was one. Roddy White, Tony Gonzalez. They know how to move the ball around.
First down, and Turner with the carry to start it. Beeson, first man to get to him. Godfrey helped out. And a gain of 4 yards on the first play from scrimmage in the second half. Remember, the Falcons won last week against Miami here. And there is Jarius Norwood, not sure about whether he's going to be in there. Obi Mihaly, who caught a touchdown pass last week against the Dolphins, coming out. Norwood with an injured head injury, has not come back, as Turner tries the middle and picks up 2 yards. Julius Peppers was there to make the play, so it'll be third down for the Falcons.
Mike Mularkey, the offensive coordinator, seems to have incorporated a little bit of a New Orleans Saints concept with some of his stuff. Lots of motions, lots of shifts. You see, when the formation comes out of the huddle, it starts one way. It usually never ends up that way.
Jason Snelling, who played a major role in the first half. That's a tight formation for Matt Ryan, and he completes the pass to Roddy White. And Roddy White is wrestled down. He got some extra yards down the sideline to the 43-yard line. Charles Godfrey, the free safety, and a 17-yard pickup for the Falcons.
Number 91, the rookie from Florida State, is Everett Brown. Jason Snelling goes low trying to cut him. Brown hurdles him, tries to get to Matt Ryan, unable to do so. And Matt Ryan connects again with Roddy White, a Pro Bowler last year for the Falcons.
4 catches, 39 yards for White. And a first down at the 43 of Atlanta. Play action. Ryan, middle screen to Michael Turner. And Turner brings it up shy of midfield. He gets 5. John Beeson, the middle linebacker, makes the play. We talked about what the Panthers need to do offensively. Of course, defensively, they got to at some point stop what has been some impressive Atlanta drives.
Very difficult to do because of the number of guys who can make plays on the offensive side for Atlanta, including, of course, Tony Gonzalez at tight end.
Second down and 5, and Michael Turner going outside gets the first down, and Godfrey will wrestle him, not down, but out of bounds. And another first down to the 36, and a 16-yard gain for Michael Turner.
Tony Gonzalez isn't just catching passes for Atlanta. Watch here, number 88. And then curling around is Justin Blaylock with Ovi Mohaley, number 34. Look at those blocks, getting Michael Turner to the corner. And then, of course, he's physical as he tries to finish the run against Charles Godfrey.
The Falcons have gained 93 yards on the ground. Not bad at this point at all. Snelling is in there, and the handoff is to Snelling. And he is knocked back, and Beeson makes sure after the initial hit by Davis. It'll be a 1-yard pickup there.
And that was well played by John Beeson because of the misdirection that was coming at him. A guy going this way, guard pulling it opposite way. If you don't read your keys as a linebacker and follow them, easy to be distracted and move out of the way of making a play.
Second down and 9 at the 35. Matt Ryan, and he completes it to Roddy White, who's hit immediately and is down. 3 yards shy of the first down by Gamble and Teal. I have to tell you, the Falcons have to dial up, or Panthers, more pressure because White has had a lot of time.
And the problem with dialing up the pressure, if you don't get there against these receivers, they're going to hurt you downfield. And Matt Ryan does a very nice job of standing up in the face of a blitz and delivering. Look at those numbers.
Great percentage, 16 of 20. And that's 80% if you do the math. This pass caught by Gonzalez for the first down. And a flag is thrown as well on the near sideline. First down to the 24.
He is cool in the pocket, Matt Ryan. That snap was off. He didn't allow it to distract him. Picked it up. He was able to deliver downfield.
Illegal use of hands of the face. Number 41, defense. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
Captain Munnerlyn, the rookie from South Carolina, picked on the last round, the 7th round.
Well, one of his strengths as a defender is his ability to play press coverage. And that's what Captain Munnerlyn was doing, coming right into the frame. The problem is he pressed Roddy White up in the face mask.
So
that's illegal.
So he should stop the presses, at least there.
No extra on that one.
So it'll be first down and the 9th play of the drive. 3 tight ends for the Falcons. And even Roddy White comes close to the line for the handoff to Michael Turner. But the Panthers equal to the task. And no gain on the play. So the Falcons with a good timely drive here. Nearly 5 minutes have gone by here in the 3rd quarter. And Atlanta has had the ball throughout.
And it's not as if the Carolina Panthers haven't made some good plays on defense. They've just been unable to string them together and have definitely been hurt on third down.
Second down and 10. Ryan again finds Michael Jenkins, and Jenkins getting inside the 20. 4 yards short of the first down. Saints trying to go to 2-0. Third down and 3 for Ryan, and the pass caught by Jenkins, and he got enough, it appears, for the first down. Remember, that's not an official line, and that would be the first down line as Captain Munnerlyn made the hit. It'll be close.
They have to measure for this one.
And here come the chains. Meanwhile, Matt Ryan is on a roll. Has completed 11 straight passes and 18 of 22 in the game.
Oh boy. Oh boy, nice tackle by Captain Munnerlyn, bringing it just a little bit short. I gotta think here that you go for it if you're Atlanta. Quarterback sneak it and get the first down. Nice tackle by Captain Munnerlyn, almost knocked the ball free from Michael Jenkins, forcing this decision for the Falcons.
So he's still pressing, isn't he? In a good way there. And it's going to be fourth down, and Matt Ryan and the Falcons will go for it.
I say go up there and sneak it, get the first down. Matt Ryan's a big, strong guy. You might as well go get it.
So here it is, 4th and inches.
Right.
And the second effort, see if that pays off for the Falcons. And it is apparently a first down for Atlanta on their 12th play of this drive.
This is why Matt Ryan spent all that time in the weight room in the offseason. This is why he retooled his diet and reconstructed his body for that short 2-inch sneak for a first down, and his head coach loves it.
He was right on it to see it. And a first down for the Falcons, who have controlled the ball throughout this third quarter. So now play number 13 in the drive. Michael Turner gets inside the 10, loses the ball. And a fumble recovered by the Panthers. And a key turnover here for the Panthers, who looked like they were going to give another score.
Look at how this play was created. Charles Godfrey with the perfect tackle, putting his head right on the football. And Quentin Teal, the replacement today for Chris Harris, comes up with the ball.
And what's good news for the Panthers, Steve Smith and Muhsin Muhammad are both lined up as receivers. First down from the 8-yard line. D'Angelo Williams pushing the pile and gets up to about the 12, where Jamal Anderson makes the stop. So the Falcons turn it over for the second time in the game. An interception by Richard Marshall, and the fumble as they apparently were headed in to score again, leading by 8. And this is the first time in the second half that the Panthers have the ball. Second down and 6. And again they go to Williams. So it'll be third down, not much there. Give them 3. Third down and about 3 coming up, and a long 3 for Carolina.
This is a real test down for the Panthers, obviously because it's third and short. But ordinarily this would be a spot you look for Steve Smith. How healthy is he in this situation?
Well, he's out there, Charles, and you got to figure that he is. And the Wildcat, D'Angelo Williams. And the pass is caught by Muhsin Muhammad for the first down. Williams at first was back there, and then Jake Delhomme went under center, but a first down on an 8-yard pass to Muhammad. And getting out of danger are the Panthers, and they've got the ball on the 23.
In a similar situation in the first half, a similar formation, they went to Steve Smith for the first down. Here in the second half early, they go to Muhsin Muhammad.
Jonathan Stewart is in at running back, and he gets the handoff. Can't break the tackle of Mike Peterson. Peterson replacing Keith Brooking. Michael Boley no longer on the scene for the Atlanta defense at linebacker.
Talk about grandpa in terms of Mike Peterson, what the other linebackers call him, but he's been their mentor. Number 53, filling the hole. Plays through the block by Jeff King, the tight end, and makes the tackle.
And Curtis Lofton said, I sit next to Mike Peterson in the film room every day. Second down and 7, Jake Delhomme. And trying to get it to King, and it's ruled a catch. A first down to the 35-yard line as tight end Jeff King with the reception. Let's see it.
I'm not sure that's going to be a catch if the Falcons so chose to check on it, to challenge it. Jake Delhomme keeping his eyes downfield after as he absorbs hit by Curtis Lofton, but watch King catch the football. See how it's moving and hitting the ground as he goes to the ground.
And the challenge goes out right before the snap. Now both coaches have won their challenges so far today.
Atlanta is challenging the ruling on the field of a completed pass.
Mike Smith, look at that.
Welcome back to Atlanta. We're in a challenge right now. Updates on injuries. Jarius Norwood, who had the head injury, not going to be back for the Falcons. And Brad Hoover, fullback for the Panthers, suffering a back injury. Questionable as to whether he'll be back. Earlier in the game, Niall Diggs, the outside linebacker for Carolina, suffered a rib injury. Haven't seen him since. So here now is Mr. Carey.
After review, the pass hit the ground. Result of the play, incomplete pass, 3rd and 7. Please put 5:37 on the game clock. Atlanta is not charged with a timeout.
Remember again the pregame show debate about catch, no catch. The ball's touching the ground as he's going to the ground. You have to finish the catch all the way through the completion of the play, including going to the ground. Incomplete.
And Mike Smith, and he knew it, and he's not afraid to show how much he enjoys the fact that it went his way. And because he has been successful on those 2 challenges, he will get a 3rd challenge as well. So 3rd down and 7. This is home field advantage here. Delhomme, and he completes the pass, and they'll get the first down to Dante Rosario. A 9-yard pickup, and boy, did that crowd quiet in a hurry.
And this is a really nice play by Dante Rosario. Sure, there was the catch, but for him, it was catching it and finishing the play because he was hit short of the first down. And how about John Fox enjoying that one from Dante Rosario?
So a 9-yard gain and a first down at the 35. Rookie Tony Fiametta now playing fullback because Hoover is out of there. Now Delhomme, that wasn't his first choice. Jonathan Stewart might have been his last, but he picks up about 4 on that play.
Nice observation. That's good veteran presence in the pocket. Early options taken away, checks it down to his running back. Nice healthy gain on first down. Keeps you ahead of the chains, as they like to say. Second and more than manageable.
Matt Ryan waiting for his next turn, has already thrown for 3 TDs. 2nd down and 5. D'Angelo Williams, the tailback. Here's Williams. He loses the ball, and it looks like Atlanta gets it back. Mike Peterson on the hit, and the Falcons will get it back at about the 45-yard line of Carolina.
In the not-so-perfect circle is Mike Peterson, number 53. Watch what he does as D'Angelo Williams tries to sprint by. Strips the ball free, Thomas Deku, number 28's there. Eric Coleman, number 26. And the Falcons come up with the football.
First down on the 47-yard line of Carolina. And the pass caught by Tony Gonzalez. And Godfrey was right all over him. Gain of 3 yards on first down. So Williams, who rarely coughs the ball up, and after the Falcons had a chance to score and they fumbled, the Panthers give it back.
I had a note on my board, Dick, that D'Angelo Williams had 0 fumbles all of 2008.
Got to be accurate. If it's on your board, I'll go with you. Second down and 7. Michael Turner. Turner gets the first down, and it's Chris Gamble with the tackle, but a great run of 14 yards by Turner.
And I think Mike Mularkey's doing a really nice job of play calling today. You don't know what he's going to do on first down. Previously, he throws the ball. Now he comes right back with Michael Turner. The blocking, excellent. And it's not just the guys up front. Look at downfield. Jenkins, number 12. Roddy White, number 84. That's why runs become bigger runs.
Turner with 72 yards, had 117 last year here, and 4 touchdowns. Gets the call again. Turner down to the 26-yard line. James Anderson brings him down as we have 2:40 remaining in the third quarter. We have not had any scoring in this quarter, and Mike Mularkey dialing up the plays, and the play selection been well balanced.
It really has, and what he likes to do in the first 15 plays of the game is get a lot of people involved, kind of like basketball, get everyone a touch, and then after that he wants to go with whoever is the open man or the hot hand.
2nd and 6. Can Turner be the hot hand on this drive? And he is short by 1.5 yards of the first down. Again, it's Anderson, 4-yard pickup on that play.
If you don't flow to the football and you don't gang tackle Michael Turner, big plays will result. Why? Because he almost always runs through the first contact. Watch on this play. So he follows Blaylock, 63, and McClure, 62. See the first contact? Runs right through it. The second guy brings him down. You need to have multiple people on the spot.
Normally, Jarius Norwood would get a lot of play, but because he's out with a head injury, it's been Turner all the way, and also Snelling, who this time is met right away by Thomas Davis, and no gain.
How about this time, the Carolina Panthers defensive front, with help from their linebackers, they don't permit the line of scrimmage to be moved from where the ball snapped. They kept it right at that spot, and Thomas Davis fills the hole and puts Snelling down. 18 tackles last week. Thomas Davis has picked up where he left off.
And they're going to have a measurement. Thomas Davis, who was a safety at the University of Georgia and the #1 pick in 2005 by the Panthers, and they are short of the first down again by about a foot.
I don't see any reason why, if you got it the first time, you wouldn't think about it a second time.
It's a short foot.
It's a short foot. You've got a big, strong quarterback again.
This would be a big play to get the first down for the Falcons, who have really dominated the ball control in this third quarter. And another touchdown here would make it a long uphill climb for Carolina. So it's 4th down and inches.
Wait for a whistle.
And it's Ryan with the quarterback sneak. He made good on a quarterback sneak earlier for a first down. And we'll let him unpile. And they want to measure again.
It's a good idea, but I think that he's going to have it. And Dick, I love the read Matt Ryan made, though, because what the Panthers did was both of the defensive tackles pinched the center. And so he read that. That's why he moved laterally first to his right before he dove into the pile.
And they have the first down. So with under a minute remaining in the third quarter, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Falcons on the 20.
See, look at the tackles. They were right over the center. That's why Matt Ryan moved to his right. Rather than try and jam it in there, he moved over to the right side and found just enough of a crease for the first down.
First down, I'll tell you, the Panthers defense have to be
awfully
a bit
tired.
fatigued, don't you think?
I would think so. And with the type of plays that the Falcons are running, straight ahead shots at them, moving it out wide laterally, make him try and chase down plays in the secondary. They've kept them on the run.
And Ryan's 3 touchdowns all coming in the first half. We have not had any scoring yet here in the second half. Gonzalez going in motion. On first down, again the tight formation, and Ryan's pass, and it's caught by Roddy White, and the forward progress will be about the 12.
Remember the touchdown, Dick, Roddy White, number 84, had when the slant and he used his body to shield off the defender? He does it again here. Chris Gamble tries to come over his left shoulder, knock the ball down, but he shields him off just enough that he can't get there.
Now that time is not right. It's 10 seconds remaining. We were stuck on 58. In the third quarter, the Falcons have had the ball more than 11 minutes, and Carolina nearly 4. Huge gap. Julius Peppers back in the lineup up front. And it'll be 1st and goal for the Falcons, who are leading by 8. Turner straight ahead and gets a couple of yards. So it is 2nd down and goal. Well, Tony Gonzalez, anytime they're around the goal line area, he figures some way, doesn't he?
Huge, always huge in the red zone. But don't forget Roddy White, also a red zone threat, number 84.
Now Brian Finneran is in the game at wide receiver. Jason Snelling also there. Finneran going in motion to the right, and behind the back handoff to Snelling. And they get to the 4-yard line, and that's a handoff you don't often see. Little trickery by Matt Ryan.
This play is getting more and more popular in the NFL. I saw Joe Flacco do it in preseason with the Baltimore Ravens, and it worked for a touchdown. In this case, it works for a gain up the middle to Jason Snelling.
3rd down and goal. And Ryan trying to get out of trouble, does, and his pass is incomplete. Flag goes down. Tony Gonzalez was his target. And apparently was interfered with, and that would make it 1st and goal, as Thomas Davis furious with that flag.
Appeared to be Richard Marshall, number 31 on the coverage. Gonzalez.
Pass interference. Defense, number 31. Automatic first down. The ball will be placed at the 1-yard line.
He had his jersey, didn't he?
Yeah, there's no question on that one, because Richard Marshall grabbed him on the cut and then rode him the rest of the way.
So it'll be 1st and goal for the Falcons, and that keeps the string of 13 completions in a row alive for Matt Ryan. Michael Turner back in the game. 3 tight ends, and they give it to Turner straight ahead near the goal line, and no signal, and he did not appear to get in, as Lewis Leonard and Everett Brown close the gap.
Good job holding the point of attack. Number 96, Tyler Brayton, helped break through. And then Michael Turner kind of came down on the backs of his offensive linemen, and he says he's over the goal line, but they're ruling him down.
2nd and goal. Here's Turner again, and he'll get in standing for the touchdown. Michael Turner with his first touchdown of the season.
Really nice job reading by Michael Turner. The play starts left, but he sees how it bends back to the right, finds the hole, and hurdles through it for the touchdown.
Jason Elam for the extra point, and the Falcons now lead at 28-13. Smiles on the faces of the Atlanta Falcons as Turner with the 1-yard touchdown, and they coup with the fumble recovery, and it was forced by Mike Peterson, who set it up. And earlier in the game, the Falcons scored after Brian Williams blocked a field goal attempt, or blocked a punt.
Here's Richard Marshall pleading his case on the bench. That's Chris Harris with the headband, a starting safety not playing today. But the replay will not help support Richard Marshall's case.
So the Carolina Panthers down by 15 early in the fourth. Jake Delhomme, 12 for 21, has not thrown an interception. D'Angelo Williams has 82 yards. His fumble set up the last score by the Falcons, and Steve Smith, 5 catches for 88 yards. Nothing spectacular, however, from Steve Smith today. He has caught 5. Muhsin Muhammad has grabbed 2. First down from the 20-yard line. D'Angelo Williams looking for an opening, nothing there. Stephen Nicholas and his friends. Second down and 10. Play action. Delhomme going deep, and reaching up is Jeff King with a great catch. And he was well covered downfield, and Jeff King made a very great catch for 32 yards, first down into Atlanta territory.
Ball slotted well and thrown even better. How about the throw over the top of Curtis Lofton, number 50, and Stephen Nicholas, number 54, and Jeff King with the big catch.
How about holding it in his crook of his arm?
He did not want that thing to come out and hit the ground. Remember earlier today? One of them hit the ground as he came down with it. Would have been a first down.
First down. D'Angelo Williams. And right now the Atlanta Falcons are targeting Williams. This time Chauncey Davis is there. And no gain on the play. Second down and 10. Flag down. D'Angelo Williams will carry it to the 43. But there's a penalty.
Offside. Defense, number 71. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Troy Bierman, the man who made the tackle, was offside.
Known more for his pass rushing skills. Yeah, I mean, it didn't look like he got off. Maybe he lined up in the neutral zone and was just offsides that way. Put on about 10 to 12 pounds of muscle, Dick, in the offseason. Did Troy Bierman. Really has made him a real pass rushing threat with his speed now. They can't just knock him off of the route to the quarterback as easily.
Comes off the bench to do a great job for Mike Smith. Second down and 5. Jake Delhomme's pass caught by Steve Smith. And Smith will go down inside the 25-yard line. And you can see the speed of this Falcon defense not letting Smith get away. That's a 20-yard pickup. Carolina striking hard here.
This is called running a route and being physical with. See how he just takes the ball, just snatches it, just kind of bumps Chris Houston and takes the ball away and continues downfield before he's finally caught.
6 catches for 108 yards for Steve Smith. Big turnaround from last week. Again, Delhomme gets some pressure, gets rid of it, and Steve Smith is there. And a flag goes down as Smith makes the catch. Close to first down yardage, but the Panthers called for the penalty, and Parade Jury, the rookie from Mississippi, shaken up.
Pass interference. Offense, number 89. 10-yard penalty. First down.
So Steve Smith now limping off the field and called for the offensive pass interference. And the #1 draft pick out of Ole Miss on the ground, and a starter for the Falcons, and they're working on him.
Steve Smith's one of the strongest, most intense and physical receivers in the league. Watch the route he runs. He tries to set up Brian Williams, and right there's the push-off. Now, it doesn't seem like it's much of a push-off. Did he really gain an advantage? But I think here's the explanation. Steve Smith jaws back with Brian Williams and the defensive members of the Atlanta Falcons. The 5-yard rule for defenders is you can't have your hands on a receiver after the first 5 yards. So they're not going to give the receiver an advantage 10 or 15 yards down the field, letting him put his hands on the defender. So if you can't do it one way, you can't get it back the other.
Meanwhile, Parade Jerry, who came out of last week's game against Miami with bruised ribs and didn't practice for a couple of days during the week, now finally up, and you can see very nearly went down again, and now we'll need help.
And now they'll just take the pressure totally off the leg and get him off the field.
You know, the Atlanta Falcons almost exclusively drafted on the defensive side of the ball for the kinds of things we were talking about, which is, you know, the speed and the flying to the ball, and they thought it would work. As we look at the game summary, Jake Delhomme not thrown a pick. Steve Smith has 6 catches. You look at those numbers, you say, well, Carolina must be closer. But not necessarily the case. And so Smith, with all of his frustration and being upset with the call against him, still has a presence of mind to be a sport and pick up the helmet for the injured Parade Jerry.
That's respect for an opponent, respect for the game. A pro's a pro.
There you see the difference between game 1 and game 2 for Smith, but the Falcons are down by 15 points. And it'll be 1st down and 20. And Thomas Johnson replaced Jerry in the lineup at defensive tackle for Atlanta. So one of the officials going over to talk to Don Carey. Now we're set to play. 1st down and 20. Panthers on the Falcons 33. Fake to Jonathan Stewart. Delhomme gets away from trouble, and unable to hold on to it was Tony Fiametta, who was in there for Brad Hoover at fullback. Jonathan Babineau giving Delhomme all he could handle in the backfield.
Watch the surge that gets back to Jake Delhomme. Initial pressure came from number 95, Jonathan Babineau, who beats Travell Wharton and gets back to Delhomme, who eludes him and unloads the ball. And Fiametta lets it go through his hands, probably jumped when maybe he didn't need to. His first pro action.
2nd and 20. Steve Smith lining up to the left, defended by Chris Houston. They swing it out, however, to Jonathan Stewart, and Stewart is brought down by Houston, who came up after Smith wasn't involved in the play, and a pickup of 4 yards to the 28.
Nice job by the Atlanta defense, making Jake Delhomme check down to the backfield, swinging out of the backfield, and then an even better job by Chris Houston, number 23, with the open field tackle.
Here's the crowd now on 3rd and 16. Delhomme, Williams, 1st down to about the 11-yard line. We'll see where they spot it. Should be an 18-yard pickup. So swinging out of the backfield, D'Angelo Williams on this play.
Come with 3 men rushing the passer, and the Panthers do a really nice job of picking up those 3 and giving Jake Delhomme all the time he needs, as well as a good lane to throw the ball in. Great vision.
And a great move against Mike Peterson by Williams. Otherwise, he would not have had the 1st down. Ball is at the 11. Stewart now is in there. And here's Stewart, who falls down. No gain, 2nd down and 10.
Now look at the play before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He only had 10 guys on the field. Stephen Nichols ran off the field, so that makes it even easier if you're trying to gain a 1st down for the Carolina Panthers.
And that was against the 3-man rush. 2nd down and 10. They rush 4 this time against Delhomme, and his pass off the hands of Muhsin Muhammad, defended by number 20 Brent Grimes. So it'll be 3rd down and 10 for the Panthers, who need, and the umpire, DeFelice, he's had a rough day.
Yeah, he's going to need the trainer's help after this is over. Slant route for Muhsin Muhammad, ball thrown high, trying to work against the smaller DB Brent Grimes. Jake Delhomme looking for the penalty, not getting it.
Now the Panthers can get to the 1 or close inside it, they would have another 1st down. But Garth DeFelice, his fellow officials making sure that he's okay. Falcon trainers came out to aid him. Now, if they don't make it, they could go for a field goal, but they still need 2 scores. But it's 3rd and 10 now. Delhomme's pass, and it's caught, and a loose ball. A touchdown is signaled. It is a touchdown to Dante Rosario. The ball crossed the plane, and you wouldn't believe this. Garth DeFelice have gone down for the 3rd time in the game, and it is ruled a touchdown.
He's got the possession, does it cross? And Mike Smith's going to want to challenge this one, because what he's going to say is that ball's moving pretty well in Dante Rosario's hands. Does he really have a firm grasp on it?
And he does have another challenge, because he won the first 2 challenges he had.
Now he has the ball in his hands as he crosses the goal line, and when he comes down, then it pops free. I think that's going to be the definition of touchdown. Completing it through and then crossing the goal line. This will be interesting, won't it?
You know, but I think there's a rule about having control even if the ball crosses the plane in the end zone, and I think that was a point of emphasis.
Yep.
And the challenge has been made by Mike Smith. This is a huge challenge right now by the Falcons. Did Rosario have control going over? And the
deal is, the knee came down, don't worry about it, not an issue. Ball crossed the plane, again, not an issue. The issue is, does he complete the catch all the way through? He comes down to the ground, ball pops out. By rule, by definition, incomplete pass.
And that means it would be 4th and 10 from the 11-yard line, and we know that if the ball had been caught and he didn't go in, it would have been a 1st down and goal from the 1.
But in this case, it should be an incomplete pass, should be the ruling. And this is going to be the most talked about rule since the Tuck rule. I mean, we've had this thing happen 3-4 times today here at our game, let alone Monday night with Oakland and San Diego.
But the first time it involved into the end zone. Here's Don Carey.
After review, the receiver completed the catch, performed a 2nd act, reaching for the goal line, penetrating the goal line. The result of the play is a touchdown. Atlanta is charged with their first charge timeout.
So the touchdown, and what a crucial one it is for John Fox, Charles.
Excellent. I thought he had to complete it all the way through. But they said what he did was he completed the catch initially on his first move. when he's got the ball in his hands and is out extended. And then as he goes down, the second act, since he completed the catch there, now if he crosses the goal line and it comes out, it's already a touchdown.
See, the elbow.
So it's a two-act deal.
The elbow forced him to lose control of the ball.
I thought you had to possess it all the way through the completion of the catch. They said the catch was completed when he caught it the first time.
Okay, so John Casey trying to make it an 8-point game, and he does. It's 28-20. Dante Rosario, who caught the game-winning touchdown against the San Diego Chargers in the opener in San Diego last year for the Panthers, scores a touchdown to bring the Panthers to within 8 with 6:45 remaining in the fourth quarter. Eric Weems bringing it out, and he is down. Taking a look at that critical play, and I know Don Carey said there was a second act to that catch. I don't think it was, and I know you think so too, that there wasn't a second act, but he makes the decision.
Exactly, and what he saw was a catch, a second move by Dante Rosario, and then breaking the goal line.
First down at the 19, and Turner picking up a yard. John Beeson making the tackle. Indisputable visual evidence to turn it around.
The initial call on the field was touchdown. So if it's not indisputable in the estimation of the referee, then it is a touchdown. So now we advance to where we are now with the clock winding down to 6:15 in the ball game. Atlanta has to get first downs. I mean, this thing's not over. It's an 8-point game. Touchdown, 2-point conversion. We're tied up.
So this is where the Panthers defense has to play big and stop a drive here with 6 minutes to go. Second down and 9. Flushed out of the pocket is Ryan, chased by Peppers, and he's forced to throw it away.
So the first 2 downs of this drive advantage Carolina. They're bringing up 3rd and 9. Matt Ryan in the pocket, flushed, and look at Julius Peppers chasing him, and Ryan just getting rid of the football. He's outside of the tackle box, so he can ground the football if the ball reaches the line of scrimmage or beyond when he throws it out of bounds.
3rd down and 9. Snelling has been used as the second back since Darius Norwood went out with the head injury in the first half. Here's Ryan stepping up and on the run, throws, and it's broken up. Jenkins, the intended receiver. Captain Munnerlyn, the rookie from South Carolina, with a critical play, forcing 4th down and a punt.
And it looked for a moment as if Carolina was confused on defense, but they were trying to confuse the blocking schemes of Atlanta. Julius Peppers became a stand-up rusher in the middle of the field, and Captain Munnerlyn with a great job of coverage downfield right at the hip of the intended receiver Michael Jenkins, and knocks it away.
That may be the best defensive sequence of the game for the Panthers. Michael Kanan will kick from inside his 10. Captain Munnerlyn back to return. Munnerlyn on the 25, and down he goes at the 32, and no one is better in covering punts than the Atlanta Falcons. This was a 7-yard return following Kanan's 55-yard boomer. First down on the 32. Delhome's pass, and it is caught by Dante Rosario, and the forward motion will be enough for a first down out to the 44. Forward progress by Rosario, who caught that big touchdown pass last series.
Like the awareness of Jake Delhomme in the pocket, understanding where John Abraham, number 55, is rushing from and moving just a few steps away from him to buy additional time. Here's Abraham, number 55, the best pass rusher.
From the 43, and we'll have a false start call against Carolina. Left tackle Jordan Gross.
Start. Offense, number 69, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Last thing the Panthers need right now are dead ball penalties, and a long yardage situation as they have now, 1st and 15. Smith and Muhammad both lined up to the left. They go to Smith underneath, but right there to make the play is Chris Houston. No gain.
Nice call by Brian Van Gorder, the defensive coordinator of Atlanta. Zone blitz. Watch Houston roll up on it. Sees the play, gets underneath the block, able to make the tackle. Zone blitz, bringing other pressure. They even dropped John Abraham, their best pass rusher, into coverage on that play. What a nice tackle by Houston in the open field.
Second down and 15. Pressure on Delhomme, and he swings it out to Williams. Gets by one tackler and nearly gets by two others as Thomas Deku trying to hold on, and a gain of 12 yards. And we want to welcome those of you who were watching the Vikings and the Lions, with Minnesota winning their second game, beating Detroit 27-13. Carolina scoring on their last possession. We're down 28-13, trail by 8. Third down and 3 with nearly 3.5 to play. Lofting this pass, and it's caught by Steve Smith, and he stays in bounds. First down at the 27. A beautiful touch by Delhomme.
Beautiful touch, and dragging both feet down with possession is Steve Smith. And Mike Smith saying, knock it down, knock it down. No.
23-yard gain on that one. Steve Smith has 8 catches for 131 yards today. And we have another false start penalty against the Panthers, their second in this drive.
False start, offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Jeff Otah, the right tackle.
I mean, this is a huge play. I mean, think about what's going on right now. The Panthers down 8. Trying with what they believe what might be their last drive and last attempt. And Steve Smith, one of the top playmakers in the league, comes through again.
And Jake Delhomme has not thrown an interception today after 2 rough games.
3:26 on the game clock, please.
Game clock adjusted to that number, 3:26.
We're going to put
And the play clock, John Fox is saying, let's adjust the play clock as well.
Please set the play clock to 24 seconds. Play clock to 24 seconds.
Referee Don Carey, the brother of Mike Carey, longtime NFL referee. Jake Delhomme, 12 of 15 and a touchdown in the second half. Told you about Steve Smith. Matt Ryan, first time he's thrown 3 touchdowns in a game. Tony Gonzalez is having another big game. First down and 15 on the 32 of Atlanta. Handoff is to Stewart. Jonathan Stewart straight ahead. Loses the ball, but apparently recovered it. He looked like he had recovered his own fumble. And we'll wait till they unpile.
Nice call by Jeff Davidson with the draw play. Big hit inside. Looked like Eric Coleman helped pop it free. Number 26. Peterson misses. There's Coleman, 26. Deku, number 28, putting the shoulder on the football. And Stewart, it appears, beats everyone back to the ball.
And it will be a first down for the Panthers. They'll mark it at the 17-yard line. D'Angelo Williams in for Stewart. Williams has gained 79 yards. Stewart 65 today. Good 1-2 punch for the Panthers. Delhomme looking to throw, and he swings it out, but unable for Williams to make the catch. It was a tough throw for him to make the play.
Ball spun him back inside. That's why it was tough to catch it, Dick. The ball needed to be out to his outside shoulder so he could catch it and turn upfield. Instead, he's having to turn back inside to try and make this catch, and it's high. And then there's Mike Peterson on the scene, too.
Second down and 10.
Steve Smith right there in the slot, their big play receiver.
Pressure coming in untouched. Loose ball and incomplete. And the Panthers and Jake Delhomme dodged one there. Croy Bierman came in untouched on Jake Delhomme and very nearly forced a critical turnover here.
And Jake Delhomme is trying his best. Here's Bierman, 71. Delhomme is trying to get rid of the football and ground it near a receiver so he doesn't take the sack, but he gets hit on the arm, so it flutters up in the air and is nearly picked off.
Here's the crowd. Third down and 10. Pressure again on Delhomme, and his pass goes through Rosario, incomplete, bringing up fourth down. Dante Rosario caught the touchdown pass to bring the Panthers to within 8, and now it is fourth down. They're going for it on fourth down. And Delhomme stepping up, fires, and it's intercepted. Pass is intercepted by Chris Houston. And that should do it if the Falcons can protect the ball.
Plenty of time for Jake Delhomme because the Falcons elect to just have a four-man rush and drop 7. They made sure John Abraham couldn't get there. Look at Jordan Gross, number 69, working. Excellent job. He kept him from getting there before the ball was thrown. But watch Steve Smith. He's going to work back to the sideline. Chris Houston sees it, makes a great break on the ball, and makes the interception. Terrific game for the corner, Chris Houston.
And last week, Jake Delhomme threw 4 interceptions trying to get it to Steve Smith. And there was his first interception today. But that may be the death knell for Carolina. First down with 2:36 to go. Michael Turner on the carry. And close to the first down. Now, if Carolina had settled for the field goal, they will have still needed a touchdown, and they would have had to have held the Falcons. But the Panthers still have 3 timeouts remaining. So that decision made by John Fox to go for it.
And he's going to gain an additional one at the 2-minute warning, which is why he didn't call timeout after the first play. He's going to use the 2-minute warning timeout to help him.
That's Chris Houston, who made the big interception in his 3rd year from Arkansas. And this is the new look Atlanta Falcons defense with 5 new faces, using just about all of their draft picks on the defensive side for a lot of speed on the artificial turf, swarming to the ball, and they have made the big plays today when they've needed to. 2 minutes to go, second down and 1. Turner trying to fight his way to first down yardage.
Got to be immediate timeout if you're Carolina. Now you've got them in 3rd and long.
Panthers with the timeout have 2 remaining.
See, and I thought they might have held him there on that 2nd and short, but instead it looks like it's going to be a first down for the Atlanta Falcons, eating up timeouts of the Carolina Panthers by gaining first downs.
Mike Smith, since taking over the Falcons, his teams are 12-1 when they've been leading at halftime, and they were up today 21-13 at intermission. First down, Turner. And Turner goes down with a loss of a yard. And the Panthers forced to call their 2nd timeout.
Wow, a 2nd-year starting quarterback in the NFL? Hard to believe, isn't it?
Look at those great numbers percentage-wise. threw an interception early in the game and then came back with 3 touchdown passes. First time in his career he's done that, and all of those 3 occurred in the first half. And you know, today we talked about Michael Turner. He did not have Jarius Norwood, who suffered a head injury in the first half and did not return. Big game for Steve Smith, and Jake Delhomme much improved today from a week ago. Second down and 11. Here's Turner outside. Look at that. Stayed in bounds, which is important for the Falcons. And the Panthers will call their 3rd and final timeout with 1:38 remaining in the 4th. For tailgating. 3rd down and 2. And here's Turner. And close to the first down. And the Panthers can no longer stop the clock. And we have an injured player, Lewis Leonard.
And he started today for an injured Nick Hayden at defensive tackle.
Leonard was acquired on trade early in September from the Cleveland Browns after Maaki Kimiatu suffered the Achilles injury and was out for the season. And Niall Diggs came out early with a rib injury, and Brad Hoover, the fullback, also shaken up today for the Panthers.
This is Lewis Leonard trying to work. He gets rolled up. Leg caught underneath. Thomas Davis going over. And that's Tyson Claiborne, number 77, with the block.
Well, we told you the Falcons travel to New England and face the Patriots next week on Fox. The Panthers will be on the road as well at Dallas in the new palace of Jerry Jones. There you see the upcoming Falcon games. Their bye week comes early, right after New England. So Leonard slowly coming off the field, and you can see the look on his face, and Sonny Harris replaces him.
Carolina is charged with their 4th charge timeout. That does not come with a 5-yard penalty. However, the play clock will be set to 40 seconds and the game clock will start on the ready.
Tell you what, they are in good shape, and they have spent the offseason really getting ripped.
They've been working. I've got to get with them next year.
All right. Captain Munnerlyn is back, and Michael Kanan will kick. So still the Panthers getting another shot with 1:22 to go. They use their timeouts on the defensive side.
And remember, the Falcons set an NFL record last year of punt coverage. But in punt coverage, only allowed 49 return yards all of last season, an NFL record. They need to cover this punt the way they did in 2008.
And last week they allowed 11 yards to Miami. Keith Armstrong, the special teams coach for Atlanta.
In the preseason, Captain Munnerlyn had 2 fumbles on punt returns. He has to secure the ball first.
So the clock started at the ready, and that's why we have under a minute remaining, not on the snap. Waiting for that play clock to wind down. And they will take a delay of the game penalty or timeout. It is a timeout.
Charge timeout, Atlanta, their 2nd charge timeout, a 30-second timeout.
They have 1 left, and John Fox has some questions.
It's a nice job of game management by Michael Smith, though, making sure what he wanted to do was okay with the official, standing right there in his ear, letting the clock wind all the way down, getting the timeout.
Because of that 4th timeout.
Because of the timeout by Carolina.
They're not penalized, but they start the clock at the ready. So now there are 41 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
And if you're Carolina, you remember no timeouts left. Okay? So do you put on some type of a pump block here to try and get the ball as opposed to taking the ball deep if they punt it away?
Falcons blocked a punt earlier in the game. Kanan gets it off easily. And Munnerlyn, great kick by Kanan. 5-second hang time, and Munnerlyn, Finneran will bring him down, the wide receiver on special teams. And now there are 30 seconds left, no timeouts left for the Panthers.
Tremendous punt coverage. This is why they set the record last year. Look at Brian Finneran right there. The first guy to make the tackle, though, is number 21, Christopher Owens.
So the Panthers need a touchdown and a two-point conversion with no timeouts remaining. Steve Smith lines up to the right. Top of your picture here. Three-man rush. Delhomme completes to Muhsin Muhammad. Goes out of bounds and stops the clock.
And they're going to keep everything in front. They've got Curtis Lofton, their starting middle linebacker, 25 yards deep in the middle of the field, back where the safeties are.
That was a 10-yard pickup.
See, that's Lofton right there. I mean, I know the guys in the Tampa 2 can go deep, but this is a whole new setup here, isn't it?
Giving new definition to middle linebacker, middle deep linebacker. D'Angelo Williams, and everything else was covered, and the only thing Delhomme could do was to find Williams out of the backfield. And now there are 19 seconds left after a 9-yard pickup. Stopping the clock again.
Remember, it has to be a touchdown. I mean, it's not trying to get in the field goal range. So no matter what, at this point, Jake Delhomme has to take more than what they're willing to give him.
Earlier on fourth down, John Fox decided to go for the touchdown on fourth down instead of the field goal. Pass caught by Muhammad. He's out of bounds. Shy of midfield by about 2 yards, but now only 13 seconds left. You can only peck away for so long.
Ball has to go downfield. I mean, that's the only chance they have. They've got to take shots at the end zone.
And with no timeouts remaining, and they go down the middle of the field, and there's a tackle at the 25, they're not going to get another play off.
You got to take a shot all the way down there. Maybe you even get an interference call. You've got to give it an effort.
Delhomme going underneath this time for Dwayne Jarrett. And now there are 8 seconds left. That's the big number, the time remaining. And the ball is at the 43-yard line of Atlanta. So you'd have to say that now they've got to take their shot in the end zone and hope for the best.
Either that or they're thinking they get one more shot at it and then take one big play at the end zone. They're limiting their opportunities to try and score.
And now the Falcons bring in Brian Finneran as deep safety. You mentioned Lofton. He's back there as well. And we'll see if this is the last gasp for Carolina. Pass into the end zone. Batted away, and it's incomplete. And Dwayne Jarrett very nearly got the deflection for the touchdown. But the game is over, and the Atlanta Falcons have won it 28-20. And a lot of Atlanta fans have to be holding their breaths on that close call on the deflection.